Bro! The red-headed wrasse has appeared! The red-headed wrasse! Hi, just around the resort, we caught a lizard, which I don't think I've ever shown on the channel before. Even though we see them now and again, they're just usually like at the top of trees. But this little olive tree skink here, David and I managed to get hands on because it was like low down a tree and you can see it. Not that remarkable, but it is cute with like the little head and a very, very bright green underside. These are very arboreal, highly arboreal, and Trent's got a good grip on it because these guys are fast. Like, that's why we never catch them, even if they are low. But great to see this skink after such a long time. I don't think I've caught one of these for about 10 years. All right, another road trip begins. It's been a while since we spent a long time in the car. But we're going to drive over to one of the adjacent provinces, another fantastic, classic Deep South herping location. And the roads en route are pretty much narrow like this the whole way. So I've seen like some very nice DORs and occasionally some cool alive snakes on this route. So maybe we'll get something along the way. The weather looking kind of good for cruising, so eyes on the road. Little surprise on the road here. We got I think it's a flat-shelled turtle. Platinota, that's the species name of this one. But the venter is extremely dark, which generally I wouldn't associate with this species, but the shell looks extremely flat. Maybe it's a leaf turtle. It can be really hard to tell with these sometimes in their different like life stages. But it's got some nice spines on the back of the carapace here, and overall just very dark looking. You can see his little eyes poking out there. Second turtle we've seen on the trip so far. Oh look, hello. Welcome to life, brother. You feel very cold, surprisingly cold. Hello. Oh, 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 oh. Not what we expected to road cruise here. Little elephant, probably used to like help these guys chop down rubber trees and stuff. And right now it's not roped to anything, just browsing the vegetation. This is why elephants destroy good habitat. Looking at what I'm wearing on my face, you'd expect I'm in northern Thailand, but no, today on the way to Yala, we picked up a bike just to increase the number of vehicles on the road, increase the chances of finding stuff and catching stuff during the daytime, which scooters are exceptional for. And we have arrived now. We've eaten dinner, and for the rest of the evening, it's just going to be herping. It's getting past 5 p.m. now, and it gets dark pretty early these days. It's December, so let's get to it. Hopefully some good stuff shows up. All right, first snake of the night. For me at least, I don't know if the other guys got something. I just cruised a huge Malayan KRAIT, sorry. Let's get you back on the road. Like absolutely huge, incredibly chunky and so long. I'll probably keep it, like, I'm trying to think about how big that guy is. He is decent. Let me try and put my boot like next to it. That's not really doing justice, I guess, but pretty placid this one, considering. I was like hooking it and I even held it by the tail before filming. And yeah, if you're wondering why I'm sniffling and talking a bit funny, it's because I've been freezing cold on the bike and that always severely impairs my sentience, my ability to speak, and you can kind of hear that I've already got somewhat of a blocked nose. But what's remarkable about this one is how yellow it is on the anterior. That's got to be some of the most creamish yellow bands I've ever seen on a Malayan wrasse before. Which is a pretty cool feature. Lots of black between the scales, a couple of barrent bands, kind of typical. And oh yeah, we saw one of these last night, which may have been the last video. I'm not 100% sure. I've completely lost track of how I'm gonna structure this. But yeah, biggest Malayan KRAIT I've seen in a while, in a very long while actually. Cool. Next snake is unfortunately a very fresh DOR Schlegel's reed snake. We actually saw one of these that someone else caught along the same trail we were walking in the Naratiwat. But yeah, another one here, big one, and unfortunate. Gonna put it off the road. See what else is out. The other guys caught a Malayan KRAIT similar to me, and a juvenile mangrove cat snake, I believe. So yeah, snakes are definitely out. Let's grind. Just stopped to check out some ponds on the edge of the road, and there's a somewhat juvenile melanota, nowhere near as small as the one that Dave and the other guys got, but let me grab him real quick. Okay, here you go. I scooped him out of the mud, almost sinking above my boot, and yeah, I'm not surprised I got a snake around these ponds. They seem so active. I spotted a soft shell as well, but I didn't get it on film because it disappeared. But yeah, I could hear some really uncommon frogs calling, and I actually do have a great interest in frogs as well as snakes. So I'm gonna keep searching around here and try and locate some of these really cool calls, because I hear some frog calls which I don't even recognize. So it could be something really rare. And I hear some rare frog calls which I do recognize. So interesting spot. I'm gonna check this guy back in the waters though. Such a good swimmer. Look at him disappearing under the surface. Wow. One more wrasse has appeared on the road. This one is definitely a Batan's wrasse. A little keeled slug snake here. The other guys saw one of these cruising, so I'm not super surprised that I got one as well. They do show up quite often around these roads here. And before we go, let's just get a good look at that ultra charismatic goofy head. Look at him. That is so cute. Cute snake. Hopefully I can get something else, but I'm about to wrap up cruising and go hiking, so this may be the last snake on the road. First snake on the hike is a juvenile female wagless, spotted by Stephen, way up there. And up there it shall remain. All right, second snake along the trail. Just spotted this large Malayan racer, active. This one's got a decent little yellow stripe there, especially for an adult where they can become very dull. And if it wasn't all wrapped up in Stephen's hand, it would actually be pretty big. I just spotted its tail around the side of a tree, saw an all black tail, was like, what is that? Was thinking it could be a cobra, and then of course I saw its little distinctive head and neck markings poking out around the tree. Yeah, let me hold the head for a second. All right, here you can see his little head. Put him on the ground, he's being a lot more cooperative now. Very distinctive, ultra round eyes. Closely related, same genus as the copperhead racer, radiated rat snake, which we saw earlier. Except this one tends to be active quite a lot at night and prefers forested habitats, whereas radiata is all about open agricultural lands. But yeah, nice little find and a new species for the trip out here tonight. What the Batan's wrasse. Two geckos showed up in the same spot and they've both got a hold of the boys. Oh, one down. Okay, he wants to bite him on purpose. Things just got lost. Careful, you're holding its like tail. And that's oh, look how many bugs there are flying around. But yeah, two cool geckos, huge geckos from the deep south. How far apart were they? Like a meter?
If that, yeah, about a meter.
We've been seeing a lot of male wags this trip, and this one has got a meal in its stomach, so it's acting very defensive. Snakes tend to be a lot more defensive when they can't move as well, especially when they have a meal in their stomach. So this guy had his mouth open a second ago, and for now I'm keeping my distance because I'm not going to disturb him. Just taking a quick video. Definitely the biggest male wagglers we've seen this trip, although male wagglers are never big, so it's kind of an oxymoron. Just on the edge of the trail, we snagged this beautiful gecko kulai. It's our second flying gecko of the trip, I think, right? We found a tokahos in, like, where was it?
Phuket.
Yeah, Phuket. Yeah, that would make sense. And this is kulai, which is my preferred one, and you can kind of idea it using that big, it's kind of the paddle at the end of the serrated tail. It's really, really beautiful gecko. I love these guys. They get pretty big. Not as big as some of the other species down here, but this is a decent sized gecko. If you look at it there. Amazing. Like, what an animal. The road cruising started off actually half decent today, but it's just been kind of hard to turn up snakes again, another night in a row. Obviously we stayed really compact tonight because tiger sightings in the area, so we didn't really spread out and maximize our manpower, but still, I felt like activity was quite low. Just heading back to the room now. If I see anything before I get there, I will show you, obviously. I feel like I haven't shown one of these in a while now on the channel. A green crested lizard, Bronchosella cristatella. This one's just got some dark bands on it. That's not from it darkening up. It already had those when I saw him sleeping. And overall looking neon green and quite grandiose here, this guy is. What a cool lizard, indeedly-deed. All right, guys, new day, and yeah, we've been photographing so far. You can see the guys in the background just releasing the Malayan crate I got last night when I called it, and they're heading back to the car now, and we're gonna go into town, have an early dinner, and then it's gonna be another long night of herping, hoping for that blue coral snake, or maybe something else venomous of a red head. The other guys just caught a goniosoma on the road. Maybe we'll see that in a bit, but for now, it's time to drive. All right, here's the green Batan's wrasse, which David encountered. This one's got an incredible blue eye, and it's quite small for goniosoma standards. This one's definitely like a sub-adult. I haven't seen one this size for a while, but he's been very cooperative in my hand. But I want to say, while this one's in hand, that very happy to get this one off the road, because this has undoubtedly been one of the worst trips ever for losing snakes off the road. Today alone, we lost 2, a big Pitayas fusca and another rat snake. And across the trip, just constantly stuff escaping off the road, even at night when we generally don't lose stuff. So it's good to get something off the road, although it is a species we have seen before. But looking absolutely exquisite here, and a fantastic day. No rain at all for, I think, the first time on this trip. And it's just, yeah, it's just looking glorious out here. Look at this beautiful snake. But for now, we're gonna head into town, get dinner, and after that, we'll start cruising. And I'll catch you guys right then, hopefully with the first find. Let's go. Bro! The red-headed wrasse has appeared. The red-headed wrasse. It crossed the road. Twilight. First time I've ever seen this species before dark. And we just spotted it, just slowly crawling out of the bushes. But by the time we jumped out of the car, it was gone into this. And you see, I trampled down the vegetation and I just spotted its tail disappearing. I got a hold at the tip. Huh? Male. Sometimes boss is a red-headed wrasse in the flesh, decent size one. That is amazing, bro. That is amazing. So freaking cool. Let's go. I'm shaking. I was not from finding the snake, but from the panic when I thought that we lost it. I was panicking. Rubber plantations.
All I was focusing on.
Rubber plantations.
Knowing right where it went into the ditch, because as soon as I jumped out, it was off. It freaking whipped. All
right, let's bag this up because the bosses are getting like annoying behind me. I didn't realize we attracted an entire family. Swadee krab. Swadee krab. Kotur krab. Thai loop no naka. Thai loop no. Okay.
Okay.
Swadee krab. Bye down the car. There it is. The red-headed wrasse in the flesh. Can't believe it. It was extremely chaotic when we caught this, with the fact that we had to dive into the bushes to salvage it from escaping, even though it had gone into the thickest vegetation. Fortunately, these guys have a bright orange tail and that was visible. And then I didn't realize we caught it just outside a bunch of locals' houses, and we had an entire party out there watching us. And although they were supportive of our endeavors and were even clapping when we bagged the snake, it was best to get out of there as soon as possible and get some space, which is what we've done now. We've brought it to a little open area, and it's been pretty chilled in Trent's hands. And you can see what is a very kind of a harmless looking snake. You look at that eye, it looks very timid. Doesn't look like it packs an absolutely lethal punch, although not many people know about that firsthand, because the snake doesn't really bite. I'm not going to say it never bites, because that's just asking for fuckery. But it almost never bites. It theoretically never bites, we'll put it that way. I've at least never been bitten by it. And you can see it spreading a little hood there. They make a very narrow hood when they're a little bit stressed like this, defensive. But this one's not too wild at all, and not too stinky as they can get, which is great. I've been looking for these all freaking year, man. All year. Let me get them in hand. You can take a look. We got 3 pretty quickly in the spring months of the year, from February to May, and then after that, despite 3 trips, this is the 4th trip to the south. Hardcore searching for these along rivers. It took until now for another to show up, but I finally broke the duck of seeing 3 per year, and we got 4 just before New Year's. That's fantastic. This is an amazing find, an absolute world-class snake, a showstopper, one of my absolute favorites in the region, and a big like 1.4, 1.5 meter one like this is just fantastic. Let's go. No more wrasses on the road since that red-headed KRAIT, although the other guys saw a, what was it, Malayan KRAIT? I think they said it was, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they saw a Malayan KRAIT, so 3rd one in 2 nights, 4th one in 3 nights. Those little wrasses are everywhere all of a sudden. And Nate, the guy scooting around, got a cookery snake, which we took a look at, which I'll show later. But nothing for us so far, but I have a feeling that's going to change soon, so full focus. There we go, guys, come on. New snake.
Nice.
Another one, our 2nd one on the road of this night, and it's another good one. We're getting the new species for the trip tonight, and this time one of the most uncommon wolf snakes in Thailand. Although it's been a fantastic year for these for me. Like, I've seen way more than I have in any previous year herping in Southeast Asia combined. But this one's lovely, very slender, and you want to grab it, Trent?
Yeah, sure.
I'm interested to see you handling one of these.
To see how it does.
Yeah. Yes, gentle. Now support the body. Okay, okay.
Oh, yep, here it goes, here it goes. Ah, yep.
Yep.
Ah, yep. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, he's got quite a small mouth.
Yeah, there you go.
Make sure he doesn't like get. Oh, your fingers are.
Ah, yeah,
okay.
there it is.
Okay.
Yep, there it is.
You can put it down now.
It's okay. It's okay.
The fun's over.
He's not too bad.
But I just want to point out before the video stops, to you guys as well. You see, it looks like it's.
Ah, that's a rough spot.
Yeah, you can grab it by the neck if you want.
It's okay.
Because it's just going to keep biting.
Yeah, all right, anyway.
It's going to keep biting.
All right, what was that? What's your video?
Those markings, they look like sand on the body. They're actually like yellow speckles, which they have in their juvenile form and just remain until adult form. And they're just randomly speckled, and it looks like they've got sand on them. But,
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, put this wrasse down on the road.
He's only gotten me like 5 times. It's all right.
He's a cursed. These are a cursed wrasse, in my opinion. Like, they have one of the worst like bites, in my opinion, of any non-venomous snake, and this is a small one.
It's impressive for the head size.
Yeah, for the head size. It's so slender though. This one needs to eat some geckos real quick.
Cool.
All right, that's enough harassing with this. Nate cruised this huge purple kukri on the road. Definitely the largest one we have ever seen, and David's showing it. Oh, he retracted his wrasses just in time to keep this PG. But look how thick that is at the middle. What the batat that? All right, I feel like we've been overusing the word batans wrasse recently, but this is truly the fucking batans of all wrasses. And you don't want to get bitten by this. One this size would tear through leather gloves. Like, I've seen it happen, and you don't want to know what it'd do with your skin. Probably something requiring stitches after. It's definitely got a meal here, look, because it kind of just gets, if you look at it at certain angles, it gets a little bit thicker. I don't know what it could have eaten, but look how long that is. Whoa. Literally the world's biggest purple kukri.
Someone give me the bag. This thing is...
It's
purple bag for the purple.
Yeah, we'll bag this one up and take a few pictures in a minute.
This isn't going to be fun to pose, though.
Thingy's got the venom defenders. That would work for this.
I don't want that thing chewing on my fucking gloves.
Alright, use your hands. Alright, here we go again. Into the forest where tigers was heard only a few days ago. Not expecting to see many snakes based on how the previous nights have gone, but hell, maybe we'll get lucky. Not a snake, but a little wrasse is poking out from under this leaf. Look how sharp his horns are, already at that size, and really nice yellow coloration with a dark V on the head. It's got to be one of the coolest looking Pelabatrachus I've seen in a while. Look at him there. Let's go wide. Just dwelling under a leaf in the middle of the sort of tarmac trail. How goofy. So we were wondering if we were going to get skunked on the trail, which would be quite something considering I've never been skunked by this trail before. But then Trent spotted this white-bellied rat snake on the way back. This is actually the second one of the day. The guy saw one crossing the road earlier, but it like vanished into that super thick vegetation on the edge before they could get hands on. But this trail, very traditionally productive for this species. We've seen a lot of them here. And this one's like, I don't know, it's a decent sized adult. Nowhere near as big as those 3-meter giants we can see occasionally in the forest, but still a lovely snake with those remarkable huge eyes. All right, maybe we'll get something else on the way back. This is a good start. What's up, guys? What is the... Oh, God, there's freaking copyrighted music playing. What's up, guys, man? What a surprise. I'm at a fast food joint in southern Thailand. Stephen, you can see him walking in the background, and we're on to the final 2 days of the trip. These are mostly going to be travel days with herping in the early and late evening. Today we're going to one of our all-time favorite spots in the main part of southern Thailand, so not quite as exciting as down here in the deep south where showstoppers are just left, right and center, but this is where we got the amazing king cobra on the Thai Peninsula expedition in the summer. So I'm super hyped to get there. We got a long drive though, so let's get this morning pizza and sides cracking. And let's get right to it. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, the dogs have finally arrived in our location for tonight. And we're here in time to do some very late afternoon searching. You see the sky is getting very dark there, but it's absolutely beautiful here. And we're hoping we can turn up some snakes. Aren't we, Stephen? Yep. A wrasse. This is pretty crazy. David got this off the road and it's actually his lifer, and for me, it almost feels like a lifer because of how insanely long it's been since I've seen this species. Anyway, Dryophilus rubescens, keel-bellied whip snake, which generally is a widespread and probably quite dense species in Thailand, but I don't know if they're incredibly hard to find, like detectability wise. And moreover, I feel like we've just had the worst luck with these in recent years. Let me bring it into more of a light situation, but this one was just crossing the road. I've seen a few DORs, including on this trip, so they're clearly active at this month. And it's amazing to see one of the more unique snakes in Thailand. It's very similar to an ahatula. I always describe it as kind of a cross between a ahatula and a bronzeback. And it generally crawls around trees, but on the trunk of trees very high up, hunting specifically Draco lizards, but I guess it also eats geckos and other things like that. It's got a very dopey demeanor though, and it doesn't really move much. You can see it just kind of acting like a ahatula, sitting there constantly waving its tongue. Really interesting species, and another great one to add to a species count where we've got several very rare snakes. And this is yet another here in an all-time classic location, the same spot that I actually found my lifer of these. So that's pretty cool. First find along the waterfalls, this little Lekagol's bento gecko, dark one, nice spots on the body, and he's trying to get me. And these guys have quite a fearsome bite, so I'm gonna let him loose. There we go. See you, buddy. All right, next find along the river. This time is a snake. I don't know, I saw it from so far away. And we know exactly what that is, boys. It's a blunt-headed slug snake, so let's go fish him out of there. And just like that, I have a cinnamon roll. You may be not sure if we're looking at a snake here. Maybe you showed this to someone, they'd be like, what the hell is that? But no, it is. It's apple-peltred boa doing its iconic defensive strategy. And if I peel back the layers, there he is. Cute little face, undoubtedly one of the cutest snakes occurring in all of Southeast Asia. Certainly a crowd pleaser, and our first one of this entire trip. So good to encounter one of these at almost the very, very last night, penultimate night. A couple more snakes showed up along the river. Here we got one Ahatula mycterizans, and just above old Wongington's head, we have Ahatula mycterizans number 2. So after a little drought of snakes, 2 right next to each other, but very common ones, which we're going to leave duly in situ. Very elegant though. You can see their little big eye, the white chin, short nose. Well, seemingly, yeah, short nose. Very distinctive. All right, me and Steven just snagged a new snake for the trip, and surprisingly, it's on the road of all things.
Very much alive.
Got to be one of the first time. I thought it was a DOR sunbeam, but because I thought these patches around it were like blood, turns out they're not. And you saw the wrasse just flick its tongue. This Homolopsis is well and truly alive and adds another species to the count tonight. The other guys are off hiking on a different trail. Steven and I were hiking. You guys saw what we found. It wasn't exactly the greatest. And now we were out like doing a little bit of cruising en route back to the HQ to do more walking. But yeah, I'm not going to touch this one on camera because it will just start biting and I'll be one-handed. So I'll give you a good look at the old Bacart. Homolopsis baccata, Jacob. You know what, I'm not going to go into the species. Let's just call this Homolopsis baccata for now and leave it as that. But yeah, decent sized one, pretending to be invisible on the road here. Let's show it to the others and be gone out of here. Oh, there's a snake, and probably a non-expected one. It's a cave racer sitting way up in a tree. We'll try to like gently lift it down on a stick, but if it doesn't work, it's going to disappear up into the trees. So let's see what we can do. Check this out, little juvenile Boeger showed up tonight. We think this one is on its way to being melanistic, or rather what we call melanistic here, which is kind of the dark speckled morph. Very common in this particular limestoney area. So the way that it's becoming very dark on the rear half of its body with those kind of green patches and the darker head, I think is very indicative of that. But this guy's sitting here really cooperatively. Generally, you don't associate Boegers with sitting still, but this one's looking fantastic here. Look at him, all lit up. What a beautiful little snake, and definitely cool to see a juvenile. Maybe the first time I've ever seen it like a juvenile, which is clearly going to turn into that green dark speckled morph. Personally, one of my absolute favorite morphs of this species. Lovely. All right, wrasses, that's the end of tonight's herping. One more diurnal snake, probably the last one of this trip encountered. One of many though, is another little juvenile radiated rat snake. This one a little bit more like kind of golden brown than the last one, but let's see if we can make him play dead. He's been playing dead a lot, which is a pretty ridiculous behavior. Sorry, I'm low energy because I just woke up and this guy was waiting for me in the morning. But yeah, I love these. They're ultra charismatic. I love their kind of varied behavior, defensive tactics, playing dead one of them, biting another, chasing you another. They're a whole lot of fun, and this guy's a very cute little snake here. Check it out, first bronzeback of the trip. A Kopstein. No, not really.
Never eating Indian food again.
Elegant bronzeback. It's got a pale venter because it's like a really, really dark one. Maybe entering shed, and because of that, it looks like Kopstein, but you see the patterning on the body, clearly not. It's form, which is the not so beautiful bronzeback. They can be exceptional. This one's very old, very dark in coloration and beautiful. Wouldn't be the first word I use to describe it, but it is quite elegant and very interesting tongue flicking. Huge eye, that's one of the most distinctive features of this one. The eye is generally around the same size as other bronzebacks. It just has a short snout, which makes the eye look a lot larger. But yeah, cool little find here. Look at it, a Wagglers in the rain. Yep, the rain came pouring in, and fortunately, wait, the lenses are so foggy. Unfortunately, from the rain came this beautiful female Wagglers, which was without a doubt the big target of the night in this area. We see them here extremely consistently, and fortunately this time we got one as well. We actually got two. One was way too high up in a tree. It was the impossible job. There was no point even trying to get it down, but we persevered onwards, and this girl made an appearance, and she's looking pretty grandiose there. Look at that. Quite a young female, this one, but it's already fully undergone the female transformation, and as she gets older, those blacks will come in a lot stronger, and the greens will reduce and reduce and reduce until she's primarily black and yellow in her large size. This one's actually giving us quite a nice look, although a little bit overexposed. Need to correct that. Here we go. You can see one of the most beautiful vipers out here in Thailand, the iconic Wagglers pit viper. Oh, would you look at that? B-Tias. But not any Tias, it's frickin' Koros. Supposedly the most common one in the whole country, but without a doubt the one which has eluded us the most on our expeditions we've done in Thailand. That's not to say we haven't seen them, right? We see them all the time, but every single time they've either been dashing across the road and vanished, or they've been, wait, focus, or they've escaped us on land. Like, we've tried to chase them down in the garden of our resorts and whatnot on multiple occasions on these trips, and every time we've lost them. But this one, we were able to get in hand, and how glorious is that? And you can get a look at a snake that I've shown on the channel every now and again, but certainly not often whatsoever. I showed a juvenile in northern Thailand, and here we're seeing like a young adult, or maybe even latter stage sub-adult. So as you can see, it's got the lovely dark edge scales on the tail, just transitioning to a pale brown snake with a very yellowish cream venter and those big typical rat snake eyes you can see right there, which makes these one of my favorite genus. I love how like streamlined, fast, active, energetic, powerful visual hunters these are. I really love them, and this is a great addition and maybe one of the final snakes we see on this trip. All right, guys. Oh, what's going on with my hair? Holy crap. Just ignore that for a second. And yeah, I'm here to tell you that I think this will be the final episode of this field trip, the final field trip of 2023. And man, it has been amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this series. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm dying, guys. I really am. I'm going to sleep. Here's a little hooter wishing me well on my way out of the jungle tonight. The other guys are somewhere behind. Maybe I'll call them to see this little Scops owl, but he may look big, but he's tiny.